Alright guys, a little windy. Got a new go-kart project here. I believe I think it's 650cc if I'm correct here. 4-cylinder. It's a beast of a machine here. Definitely needs some work. Been sitting for a couple of years, it looks like. A couple rats nests in here. But yeah, big old engine on it. It's a sweet pipe actually coming out of the back. Check out the drive shaft and stuff. Just a beast. I think it's 650, 0.652. I think that's 650cc.
Liters, yeah.
Look at little nut.
Yeah.
Little nut there. Battery back here. It's got a solenoid. Big old starter right in the motor.
Oh,
look at the shift. That thing's locked up, but the motor should shift. And then it's got the clutch right here. Clutch control, brake and throttle. And then it's got speedometer and everything up here. So we'll get it inside here. Oh, and then the gas tank up here, which is actually pretty nice too. Big gas tank. Oh, not too rusty.
Wow, it is really cool.
So yeah, I bought this thing for 250 bucks. Pretty good deal. Actually, really good deal. These bars are it's a super solid machine.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
So we'll get her in, and I'm gonna be soaking the carburetors, cleaning it off a bit, and see what we can do with it. Alright, so we got the beast back in the garage. We'll go over everything kind of again, now that it's not windy. But so I picked this thing up for $250, as you guys know, and it was on Facebook Marketplace. The guy had 20 other people messaging him at the same time, so I had to go at maybe 8:30 at night and go pick it up in the dark. And there's 5 guys there that helped me load it in, and off it went. He said he got it from a guy that owed him rent money, and the guy didn't have any money to pay him, so he gave him this so he could flip it for cash. And that's what he did. I picked it up for 250 bucks. The guy didn't know anything about it, but as you can see, it's really engineered well. Everything's here. It's got lights on it. It's got speedometer, tachometer. It's got a clutch lever, or pedal I should say, and then it's got brake and gas. And then it's got really heavy duty seat belts, so you know this thing went fast. Then there's the hand shift lever, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
Then the motor, I believe, is off of a KZ650. You can see the 650 mark right here. It says 0.652. I'm not sure if the electric start works. Probably gonna test it out today. The carburetors are a little bound up. I might just get some WD-40 going in here. And then it's got a really solid metal gas tank that looks pretty good on the inside. Quick show you guys what that looks like. So it's pretty clear. I mean, everything down to the gas tank is professionally built on this thing. It looks like there's I'd say that's almost 2-inch bar, what makes the frame. So that's really heavy duty. This stuff is just really thick. Huge shocks in the back, and it's got the 2 chains for the drive shaft. Thing is just massive. So we're probably going to start with unlocking the shifter. This thing's pretty stuck right now, so I'll try to unlock that and then see if the motor shifts, and then probably just grease everything up and see if we can get the starter to work. The steering was a little bit stiff, so we're going to try to loosen that up as well. I don't know if there's any grease fittings in there as well, but oh yeah, there's a grease fitting right here. We could probably pump that full of grease. Hey Chuck, you want to get the grease gun and pump that a little bit? There's a little grease fitting right there. I wonder if it just pumps the grease through here. And then what's that, brake pad? I'm not going to touch it in there, but
It's just looks like for a bike. Yeah, that's not for this.
But yeah, I told him we were probably going to start with trying to get that loose, see if we can shift through the motor, and then probably vacuum this thing out. Pretty sweet looking machine. I've never owned a shift cart before. I mean, this thing is so heavy too. It's got to be 700 pounds, you think? All right, so just spray a bunch of WD-40 on the shifter and back here. Just letting that soak. We're gonna probably hit that with a rubber mallet and just see what happens here.
There is no oil filter. Or air filter?
Alright guys, we got her to shift after a lot of work. Pulling on this thing for probably 10 minutes with a hammer. But we got it to the point where you can do it by hand now. By hand, and it actually shifts. So check this out. I'll give you guys this point of view. So I think we're in second right now, or third. I think we're in third. Let's see. Yeah, we're in third. Okay, I think we're in second there. I think we're in second. We're gonna find neutral. Let's see here. There, that's neutral right there. All right, one step done. It shifts. Next step, let's check for oil. Let's see, the oil goes right here. Let's check and see if that's dry. I'm guessing there's not much oil in it. All right, let's see if the oil is up here.
There's been a chunk that went up in there. I wonder if they went in and looked at it.
So far it looks pretty dry in there. We'll take a little dipstick and go in. See what the oil looks like here. So on this machine there's actually a little window to see how much oil is in there. If you guys look down here, I don't know if you guys can see. It's right there underneath that wire, you can kind of see it. It's filled up all the way, but just to make sure, I'm gonna just use a little dipstick. I've got a little piece of wire right here. And as you can see, there's oil in it. So we're good to go. It actually doesn't seem too bad. It's not too dark. But yeah, next step, we're gonna be vacuuming this thing out. I'm guessing there's some mice living in the seat and some other things. So let's clean it out, wipe it down a little bit, and get a good base to start working on this thing. After we clean that, I'm guessing we're gonna go to the battery, see if we can hook up a jumper to it, and see if we can get this thing to turn over. Let's start by vacuuming out the seat here. All right, most of it's cleaned up. We're gonna go over it a little bit more and then start working on the battery. So stay tuned. Should be interesting to see if this thing's gonna turn over. All right, this thing is pretty clean. All the crap is out of it. You can see nothing left in here. I got all between the seats, all on the top of the motor. Everything's pretty much cleaned out here. I did notice that there's water down the pipe, quite a bit of it, you can kind of see in there. So we're either gonna have to suck that up or just let it push out when we start the motor, which we're probably gonna have to suck it out. But it shouldn't be in the motor, obviously, because, I mean, gravity, it can't go up. So Let's see, yeah, it's pretty clean. We're just gonna wipe it down with a rag and see what it looks like. Somebody painted the motor blue, it looks like, at one point as well. But just wanted to show you guys where the coils were up here. So the coils are up here for the motor. So each coil has 2 spark plugs coming from it, and then the battery's way down here. You can see the battery with the solenoid right there, which is just dangling. And then it looks like it goes up to the starter right here, and that's basically it. And then it goes up to the starter button, which is right here. So let's try to hook up a jumper to the battery and just see if we can get this thing to crank over. All right, we're gonna take out the spark plugs now. Hopefully this engine's not locked up. I have a feeling it might be due to the rain coming through the carburetors, but you never know. Let's hope not.
At least they come on. I've had that before. It's not a good sign when they don't come off. No. My truck. It's got a tick in though.
They look pretty good too, actually. That's the first spark plug that came out. Looks pretty decent.
Yeah, mine doesn't look too bad.
And they're NGK, which is a little better than other brands.
Well, these like need NGK because NGK is one of the things. There's a piece of glass.
Really?
Yeah.
Second spark plug that came out. Looking pretty good. NGK B7ES. That would probably work for the dirt bike.
Yeah.
What do your spark plugs look like? Let me see.
Not bad.
Let's pour some WD-40 down it.
I would put actual oil.
That takes a long time to burn off though. Let's try some WD-40. I'm just gonna put it in gear and see if it spins.
Oh man.
All right, here we go. Moment of truth. If it's in gear, will it turn over? That's good. Those over here.
These don't look bad.
Let's see. Is it in gear right now? No. Take that one. There. Uh-oh.
Oh,
What? Yeah, a bunch of water in there.
that's not good.
Rod. Go back. Oh, I'll move it. All right, so far it's not looking good. It's looking like it might be a little bit locked up. I'm gonna lube the chain a little bit. A little bit. All right, chain's lubed up a little bit more. We're gonna try to push it. But hopefully it comes loose. I'll put it in higher gear.
Put it in neutral so we can push it back.
Going back on the trailer.
There, try that. Yeah, I was in first gear. That's why it wouldn't work. Alright, so, what do you think?
Well, that's not good.
No. Alright, we're going to try to pour a little oil down the cylinders and see if that can loosen some things up. Oh man.
You wanna help me?
Yeah. Oh, I gotta really dip it up.
Where's that going from?
I'm not sure.
I think it's good.
Yep. I think it's coming from the seat.
Jeez.
Lots of crap came out of there. Holy cow. Alright, let's try to hook up a battery to this thing. See what happens.
That stinks.
Battery's junk.
No, that's nothing's gonna work. Gotta get that engine start thing out.
I've got a jumper. Should we try jumping it? Sure. It's like connected to my car battery or something? I've got a jumper pack that I can use, and we'll try jumping it now. But this thing is blinking red, so the battery's junk. And I figured it would be, but it's worth a shot. So let's grab the battery pack and jump this thing. Got the battery out. We hooked up the positive and negative terminals to the battery. We're just gonna see if the jumper cable can try to power this thing up. Doubt it. Push the start button over there.
Are you sure it's on?
I don't know. Yeah, that was on. The lights on. So far, not looking good. Try the other position on the kill switch. All right, getting the side cover off here.
Probably gotta get past that thing.
Feels like there's
The clutch.
Yep. All right. So looks like we get access to the clutch right here. There's the clutch shift rod in there. But the main point was to get access to the starter. See if we're getting voltage there. So let's try to look at that and see if we're getting voltage. Alright guys, we're having a little wiring issue. So, we've got the positive negative hooked up. When we do the switch, the ignition switch, we're getting a negative reading, negative, and a nothing reading. So we're not getting positive up at the switch, and there's no positive going to the battery. So we're just trying to figure out where we're supposed to hook up negative and how many negatives are supposed to be at the switch. If there's supposed to be 2 negatives or 1 negative. We're going to look that up. But right now that's positive, and right now that's negative. And what's supposed to happen... Yeah, and what's supposed to happen is when you hit the switch, this one converts to this one, and that one becomes positive. Goes down to here, comes up over here to the battery, to the starter, and then that's the positive on the starter. And then since it's grounded, it already has a negative, so it's supposed to start. But right now it's not doing that. And the wiring is all janky. So we're gonna try to figure that out probably next video, because we're running out of time here. And we're gonna quick see if we can go into gear and see if it can turn over the engine, since we've been letting it sit for a while. Alright, we're gonna try to shift it into first and see if this thing can spin over. If it doesn't, we're gonna let it soak with a bunch of oil overnight and just see if that fixes it.
It's already in here.
Oh, it is? Oh, yeah. It's not coming, so I think it's locked up. I guess next video we'll see if we can get it unstuck, but as of right now it's pretty stuck. We're going to put some oil down the cylinders, and I think that'll be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Made a little progress, not a whole lot, but it's definitely a project. And for 250 bucks, I mean, you can sell it right now probably how it sits for 500, so not too worried about it, but we'll get it going. If we can get the engine to unstick, then we should be good to go. The wirings won't be that bad, I don't think. So anyway, thanks for watching guys, thanks for subscribing, and until next time, we are out.